Next
Not
up,
a green prince, not a red prince, but what is it?
it's a blue prince.
He's so
Also,
blue.
I got to mention, y'all, it took me a minute to figure this out, but you know why it's called Blue Prince?
Why?
Because the game is about drafting blueprints.
That's what
Get it?
I thought it was called
shit.
Blue Prince, not Blue Prince.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying.
Yeah, I thought
No,
so too.
no, it is Blue Prince.
Yeah.
Yes, no, I
Two
get that, but I
words,
thought
but
it was
yes.
Prince.
It's-
Like a blueprint. A blueprint.
No,
Blue
that was a
Prince.
blueprint.
It's a prince, like a prince of the crown.
Right.
Yes, no, I get
royalty.
that.
Yeah.
So what game are we talking about
So
today?
Blue Prince is a brand new game. This game completely came out of left field. It was not on my radar a week ago. And then all of a sudden I hear everybody talking about it. I'm like, what the hell is this game? I got to play it. And it just so happened that so I have PlayStation Plus Extra, which is that middle tier PlayStation Pass.
Got that?
Yeah. So I use it for like some other games. So like, that's not much more money, but this was free with it. So I was able to download this game. I also got Stray with it, and I've got a couple other games. I was like, it's fine. So anyway, this game is created by Dogu Bomb Studios. Dogu Bomb. And so they have an interesting story because they're an independent film and game developer hidden among the shadows of Hollywood. So basically, they were making stuff for other people. They're an independent film company. So they were making stuff for Netflix and for NBC Universal, Merrill Lynch, Magic the Gathering, ABC, Snickers, doing a bunch of commercials for a bunch of different people. Yeah. Like big production stuff for people. Independent studio based out of LA. And they were like, you know what? We're tired of making stuff for the people. We're going to make something for us. So they started a game company. And this is their first game. And it was published by Raw Fury. And it released April 10th, 2025. So it's been out for 8 days as of this recording. It's on PC, Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. And in Blue Prince, players assume the role of Simon P. Jones, who inherits the enigmatic Mount Holly estate from his late great-uncle. However, there's a catch. To claim his inheritance, Simon must locate the elusive 46th room within the mansion in a single day. Each failed attempt resets the mansion's layout, compelling players to navigate a constantly shifting 9x5 grid of rooms, uncovering secrets and solving intricate puzzles to progress. So I want to preface by saying that this is not y'all's game.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Throwing that out there first.
100%.
But
I'm playing it.
there is an audience of people out here that I think it very much is. This is my kind of game.
Yep.
100%. And I am really, really enjoying it. I've probably sunk 8 to 10 hours into it, which isn't a ton, but I'm on day 21, I believe, of the thing. So it's a roguelike game. And in it, you start out on day 1 and you enter into the entrance hall of this building. And then you have 3 doors in front of you. And you can pick which door you want to go to. You pick the door and it pops up where you draft a blueprint. Why it's called blueprints. A blueprint of a room. And it's a random draw of 3 rooms. And you pick one and that adds to your inventory of rooms that you've discovered. And in some rooms, there's 46 rooms, as the synopsis described, of rooms in the game. You have to find the 46th room, and nobody's found the 46th room because this estate's been around forever. The owner of the home, your great-grand-uncle or whatever he was he built this room, but nobody has been in it other than him. But he's like, if you can come up to the challenge and find the room, you can get my inheritance and everything that comes with it. So your goal is to find this. And the house actually has written in the story that people know that this is a house that ever changes when you enter the house. So like there's letters that you'll find where somebody said, yeah, I was hired to be the cook, but it took me a couple days to actually find the kitchen. And then I found the kitchen and then you had to go about your thing. And I was like, that's so interesting that they built it into the story, this like concept of like you having to then find and locate these rooms as you progress through the game. So you open up a room, you have a series of cards to draft, and then you pick one and you enter into that room. And when you're doing it, it'll show you where the entrances and exits are. So sometimes there's one door that is all you walk into and there's no other doors. So you have to walk back out. Sometimes there's 2 doors, 3 doors, up to 4 doors based on the 4-square grid. And you can pull up a button that shows you like the full grid of what you're looking at. And your goal is to get to the antechamber at the very top of the 9x5 grid.
Yeah.
But in getting there, you have to solve 4 puzzles that opens up all 4 doors in that in order for that room to make sense. Otherwise, you're just wandering around. So the first goal is to uncover the rooms that lead you to the 4 puzzles to unlock those 4 doors. And you do that by drawing new rooms, opening them up, discovering their secret or story, and then progressing forward to do more and more. Sometimes you'll unlock 6 rooms and then you'll find a dead end and you can't go anywhere. So you call it a day. You have to go back outside to your little campsite tent you got out there and you start the day over the next day and it resets the grids and you have to then draw again to progress forward and see how far you can get.
What are the puzzles like?
So the puzzles are, most of them are relative. They're specific to the rooms that you have. So let's say, for example, sometimes you go into a room, like there's one called the kitchen, and the kitchen is basically an L-shaped room, and in it it always tells you what you're going to get from that room. It could be you're going to get a key, you could get a gem, and keys are used to unlock locked doors, obviously. And then the gems are used. Sometimes you are required to have a certain number of gems to access to use a room. You have to basically pay to use it. There's also coins that you can use for shops around the map that will reveal like a commissary where you can like buy items that'll help you to like solve puzzles. And then you also get this dice that lets you re-roll a room one time.
Okay.
To re-roll a set of rooms.
Okay.
But puzzles are, for example, there's a room called the billiard room. And in that room, you have a dartboard. And on the dartboard, you have a series of numbers, or obviously your dart number, your score is around, and there's like a color. And you click on the color, and then another set of colors pop up. And you basically have to learn, without anybody telling you, the pattern of the colors to understand that one will be addition, one subtraction. It's like a math puzzle.
So it's very elaborate escape room.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So my question is, whenever you go to bed, right, and you go back in, is there a potential that you'll go back in the same room that you went in before?
Yes.
And you have to resolve that puzzle again?
Yes. And it's different every time.
Oh, it's going to be different.
It's the same type.
Same type of
so
room.
it's the dartboard.
Yeah,
but it's different. Of the puzzle. The reward you get from it will be different. So like, for example, the billiard room, when you open that up, you could get 1 key, 2 keys. You can get a key card. You can get a secret key that opens up a lot of doors. So, and it's always random.
That's what I was curious about because I didn't know if it was like, I didn't know if it was just like, you've unlocked this room. You already know you can do this and you can like expedite it like a very fast. Because what was that game like? Kind of like almost Returnal in a sense, because it was roguelike. Yeah. Where, you advance, you already, I've already fought this person. I already know what exactly do.
You know
kind
of what to do.
Like Elden Ring, you just get better and better.
Better and better.
Things get faster and faster.
Better. You just progress. Yeah. Because you already know what to expect. I walked into the billiard room. I know these codes or combination. I can just keep going.
Right.
Okay, cool.
And I appreciate that because that would definitely add a little bit of tedium to the game where it's like, okay, you enter the billiard room and it's like the same puzzle every time.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to redo that over and over again. So it's nice that they change it up. And then sometimes there's new discoveries as time goes on because there's certain points in time where you'll uncover a new type of room that will add benefits to other rooms. So for example, there's one room that I found that affects all the bedrooms. So the bedrooms are rooms. So the way you reach the end of the day is you have steps up in the top left. And the step you start at 50 steps and every room detracts a step. So you have basically 50 room, like you enter a room 50 times in order to, to not have to end the day.
That's what I was curious about. So it's not by your movement, it's by each time you go into a room.
Correct.
So you can technically go into, if you can go into 50 rooms.
In a sense. If you have to backtrack, it counts twice.
Oh, so if you go back into a room.
Anytime you just enter any room, it's going to count as a step. So if you walk forward and you reach a dead end and you walk 5 through 5 rooms and you go back, that's going to be 10 total steps to have to retract. Yeah.
I like the aesthetic of this. It looks very cool, and I like the concept of it as well.
Yeah.
It's like more than just unlocking rooms and finding things. Like, you kind of have to plan out how you're going to travel.
Yeah, you got to plan and think about because...
Imagine you have the 46th room unlocked and you ran out of steps.
Dude, yeah.
What happens when you run out of steps, though?
So you run out of steps, it just fades to black and it says you have to call it a day.
Damn, that'll piss me off.
So there's moments where I've been playing, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good, I'm getting in the groove, and then I'm not paying attention to my step counter because I'm in such a rhythm, and then I'm about to get to the next thing, and all of a sudden it hits that one goes to 0, I'm like, fuck. And then it just call it a day.
Can you imagine getting to the 46th room?
I couldn't.
I got it, and then it was love, Harry. The room was love. It was love the whole time.
Yeah. So, so there's a sense of progression that does exist here because like once you unlock the rooms the one time, you have a room directory that you can go into where you can see what the rooms are all about.
Yeah.
So you can kind of plan. Okay, eventually you understand and know that. You start taking notes. So
I can
have
go to the dartboard and get something.
Yeah, I can go to dartboard and get something. And the biggest currency in this is the keys because there's a 9. It's a 9x5 grid. So there's ranks to the rooms based off of how far up you get in the house. So if you start on the first row, that's rank 1, and then rank 2, 3, 4, up to 9. So the further you get up, the higher the rewards from those rooms. So it could be the same exact room, but you could yield a higher reward opening the billiard room at rank 5 versus rank 1. But it also has a higher chance of having a locked door the further up you get. Or having something that's going to have like a key card room, for example, that you have to get a key card or turn the power off. So there's also like a power system to this game where you can open up the breaker room and you can turn off power to certain things. So you start understanding and learning these tools that makes each subsequent run, which is always random, better and smarter each time. So I'm like, okay, now I know that if I do this, this will give me access to this room. So then I make sure that I draw that room at some point to open that up so then I can get access to this thing to progress further for that piece.
I see rooms have like, what do you call it? Like a rule to them? Like some of them have rules?
Yes.
Like I'm watching another guy.
Yeah.
He has a nursery here and it says, whenever you draft a bedroom, gain 5 steps.
Yeah.
But it requires a gym to draft that room.
Correct.
It almost is like a board game.
Yeah.
But with more steps. And I think that's why it's a video game. Because it reminds me of a board game I played. I think it was just called Zombies, where you place out the map as you progress. And it tells you, like, oh, this many zombies on here. This is this. You can only unlock this if you do that. I like that concept.
Well, it's kind of like, Zombicide. Is that the game that we played where it's, a little bit like that, or Carcassonne. Carcassonne is one that I related to the most, where it's like you're drawing out these locations.
The board.
Or there's another one that it's a lot like, too, that what's it called? There's another board game that was on top of my head. But yeah, it's like you encounter, Betrayal of the House on Haunted Hill or something like that. Have you all heard of that game?
Yep.
That's very similar, where it's like you're opening up rooms and discovering. So there's similar ideas here, but there's a lot of variety and it's a lot of like puzzling of trying to figure out when do I add these rooms where, because you can get to a point where like, okay, I'm going down the east wing, which is the east side of the map, and then I hit a dead end. I'm like, shit. Well, I hope I have an opportunity to get something like a good draw on the other side. Well, I go to the other side, and then I end up opening. They have these red rooms. They're always going to give a negative effect. So it could be it's going to lose 2 steps every time you walk in there. The basketball court, for example, does that. Or there's one that's called the dark room, where when you enter in that room, everything you draft is invisible, so you can't see it. So you have to just hope that what you pick is not going to lead you to shit,
Yeah.
And there's ways you can, like with the breaker room, you can turn that off so that when you do draw those rooms and it affects that. So you start learning. So I have a notepad that I've been keeping notes of, like, okay, when I go to this room, these are things I need to keep up with, or like, here's how the items work, or here's where I can get one of the puzzles. So I've uncovered one of the 4 puzzles now. And it's crazy. And I just unlocked a room that is a stationary room that once you draw it, it's forever on your game board in that location. And I was like, fuck, if I knew that, I would not have drawn it where I drew it, Dang. And it's just like so interesting. And now it's
a lot of strategy.
You do it over and over again. The only thing I don't like is that some of the stuff, like some of the animation, or some of the animations that are in here kind of create some tedium as you do it over and over again. For example, when you pick up an item, it shows up a screen that says, it fades up and here's the picture of the item and here's a description. And it's like, okay, well, you enter the parlor room, you have to get a parlor key to unlock these boxes after doing a puzzle. You do that every time you enter this room. Different puzzles or different text on the boxes, but it's the same effect. So every time I walk in here, I have to click on that key, pick it up, that animation pops up, and it wastes like 3 seconds. Small nitpick, but it's like that happens a lot, where like when you restart a day, like it has to do a fade in on the house and say it's day 25,000, and it's slow fade. I'm like, why can't I skip that? Just get straight back into the action,
it.
So there's little things like that I think they could cut out.
guy I'm watching is doing the same room, and it's cool to see like
the differences and stuff. Yeah. So far, I've seen like I think 7 or 8 different variations of this puzzle game, which is kind of cool. But I mean, it's doing really, really well. People are loving it. They're, reviews on the Metacritic, I think it's got a 92 right now. And I think the roguelike puzzles, the immersive storytelling to me is also really interesting. Like I do enjoy reading if it's intentional and makes sense. And as you're progressing through this game, like sometimes you uncover a new room you haven't been to before, there might be a cutscene that introduces you to like what that room's about, or you'll find a little piece of paper that tells a little backstory about who this great uncle was, or who the different people that used to live here are. And like you kind of learn more of that backstory and kind of understand like what was going on in this house. Why are these rooms being drafted the way they are? How does this even work entirely, you know? You eventually find like a floppy disk that allows you to upgrade rooms, that creates permanent upgrades for rooms, which is kind of nice. And then there's puzzles you can get that will like unlock permanent buff additions to your run for that run. There's just like little layers that keep adding on and accumulating, so that every run like you learn a little something more and you get a little step further. So there's like that carrot on a stick that it's like, okay, like one night I was playing and I was up to like 2 a.m. because I was going to play for like 30 minutes. And then next thing you know, it's like, okay, one more run. And then it was like 6 runs later, I was still playing the game. I was like, damn, it's so good. So really,
I see the appeal. I definitely see the appeal.
Yeah,
I think it's something I could actually get into.
You might, yeah. I mean, because it's also like, I mean, we talk about palate cleansers a lot. This is a huge palate cleanser because it's like after playing, you can do one run and knock it out, and I think one run lasts anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. So you're not going to be in there very long, and then you can be content, you know. Or you might be like, "Fuck, I need to keep going and just run through it so much times." But
well, I see like similarities, at least in my mind, like What Remains of Edith Finch.
Yes, yeah,
because that was like a house with rooms to go into, and there's puzzles and whatnot.
Yeah, it would be cool if you could take like because like Edith Finch was way more immersive in its puzzle design,
right?
I wish you could take some of that and put it in here. You know, that'd be kind of nice. But I do love the clubbing because there's 46 rooms to draw, but there's also more than that because you have
like hallways.
You have the hallways that are their own set of rooms. You have the red rooms that are their own set. There's the bedrooms that every time you enter a bedroom, it's always going to give you more steps back. It's like a rest room essentially. Yeah. You have a green room, which will give you the opportunity to dig to find things. And they also are usually like set on the outside, so you can like see the outside a little bit. And then there's storerooms that you can use to like buy things. You can buy food, which food will give you more steps. The commissary will give you items. So there's like things like a shovel that'll help you dig in the dirt outside. There is a metal detector that'll help you find gadgets and stuff throughout the world, things like that. But yeah, it's really interesting. I'm really curious to know what it's like once you get to that 46th room, like what happens. So I don't think the game ends. So I'm like really interested to see
kind of
where they take it from there, you know? So
there's like a lower chamber.
Right, probably. But yeah, it's a cool game. I'm really, really digging it so far. And I mean, for free on PlayStation Extra thing was nice, but even otherwise,
I think
it's
free
like,
though? Playing
I mean,
PlayStation
you
Extra?
know,
Was it free?
It was free.
I'm helping PlayStation, okay?
In his own mind.
Was it free?
It was free adjacent, okay? Let's see. It is also. Let me pull it up on Steam here.
How do I add this to my wish list?
It is $26.
$30.
It's $30, but it's 10% off right now.
10% off right now, so $26.
Yeah. So it's like I think that price is worth it. Like I honestly expected it would have been like a $20 game or $29.99, maybe, or no, or $19.99. Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
But
tariffs, man.
It is, yeah. But it is it's really, really well designed, and it's a good start. There are I did have a little bit of a low point where I was starting to be like, okay, this is getting repetitive. Like, give me that carrot again.
Yeah.
And then it did, and I was like, okay, I'm better. I'm happy again. You know, so it's been good. So, yeah, worth checking out if you're into puzzle games, like a lot of diversity, enjoy that roguelike vibe. There's nothing scary here. It's eerie, sometimes, but it's not like nothing's gonna jump out at you or whatever. It's just cool, trippy puzzles, and it's a mystery. So yeah, check it out. Blueprints out now.
Blueprints.
Very nice.
I like it. Picasso.
Yeah,
Cool beans.
cool beans.
Picasso.